right, my friends, with that, we are now live at Newsstand Studios in Rockefeller Center in New York City, center of the universe. How New York City and cool is that? And we're recording in Rockefeller Center, and people are passing by, and apparently it's Fashion Week, so if we stop talking, it's because models have passed by, and I have zero control over my eyes and heart. But I am here with what we're calling kind of the new guard of leading men on Broadway. How do you feel about that?
My God,
Jamal just had a giggle about it.
Just stood up.
Wow, it's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm like, thanks. I guess
that's me.
Yeah,
I'm included in that.
Okay.
Well, for sure you are. Well, it's interesting right now because in grand theater fashion, we are making do with what we've got, and we have 2 out of our 3 leading men present, and we're gonna roll with it and see what happens. And we're all prepared to make time travel jokes here in a minute. But I want to introduce you to our leading men. Kyle Selig is here, who we know and love as Aaron Samuels in Mean Girls from the Book of Mormon, and very, very newly in Water for Elephants.
Yes, so new.
So new. All right. Last night, I saw the show.
I know, you said wild.
Are simply incredible. I am blown away by just how challenging that role is. You don't make it look challenging. I'm not saying that.
That is a compliment.
But
Thank you.
there
I will
is
take that.
so much going on. It is so physical. The range is outrageous, and you carry the whole thing on your shoulders. Congratulations.
Thank you.
3 shows in, do you feel even remotely human, or are you still in kind of an out-of-body?
Who said that?
Yeah.
No,
Right.
it's definitely an out-of-body experience. To your point, the role really is quite large, and I think probably Monday on the day off, I'll finally sit back and pay attention to everything that just happened this week, and I'll be like, oh, wow, okay,
Wow,
another week, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the things that you're putting your body and your soul through, I think you probably can't process it.
Yeah, I don't think it would be helpful to stop to process at this moment, but I'm looking forward to doing
Right.
it soon.
We're not looking for first week full-blown collapse.
Yes,
just
exactly.
yet.
We got more shows to do.
But truly, a huge fan, absolutely tremendous.
Oh,
in
likewise.
the show.
Thank you.
So,
And thank you for coming.
congratulations.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it was great. Well, it was great to watch you and be like specifically all over, like, I'm going to talk to that guy
I'm
about
gonna ask him about that
he
line
just
he
threw
flubbed.
a
Yeah.
sledgehammer in the air and caught it with one hand. What is this dark magic? Also, he is currently wearing the crown on Pride Rock in The Lion King on Broadway after playing absolutely every role there is to play in a tiny little show called Hamilton. Vincent Jamal Hooper.
Hey.
Hello, my friend.
How's it going?
Great. I'm glad that you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
Tell me a little bit about the jump from King George, Lafayette, Hamilton, all of it into being. Do you feel kind of less schizophrenic at this stage of the game?
I will say it is nice to be playing one person. That's really lovely, and there are fewer words to remember, which is also a wonderful little. My brain can relax a little bit, a tiny bit.
Yeah, well, and once again, also, I guess we're just going to, because this studio has about more testosterone flowing in it than any studio of any Broadway-themed podcast ever. Also a really physically demanding role.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're running and jumping and throwing someone pretty much every time you enter the stage. So it's, there's lots of physical therapy and massages and cold plunges.
The cold plunge.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle, are you cold plunging?
I don't have access to one, but I do love a cold plunge.
Do you? Yeah.
I mean, there's a great place downtown I can tell you about.
All right, we'll share
Yeah.
information.
A cold,
See you there.
A cold plunge. Oh, well, look at here.
Well,
We're going with it. We're going with it.
I hate everything. I'm the worst in the world.
Can you get through? Oh my God! Everyone, look at this.
Hi. Me too, Vincent. We're not. No. You too.
Speaking of the life of a leading man on Broadway, here I am,
Yes.
late to this amazing thing. Thanks for asking us to do it, though.
We're in a newsstand. Isn't that wild?
I mean, I walked by and I was like, "What floor?" And they were like, "No, it's in the lobby." And I'm like, "Where in the lobby?" And then I looked to my left. I'm like, "You guys look like you're being sold, like like you're at Macy's." Like,
And now
you're
you
like
are too.
toys at- yeah.
Oh, how marvelous! I'm not sure I'm opposed to that, but I hope someone picks me.
I know, it's really cute. It's
Is
like
there a
storefront
live
window.
auction aspect to
Oh
this
my God.
podcast at the end?
Oh, we all know who's getting the fewest bids. I'm going to be over here like, but I was in Footloose. Blah, blah, blah. Hi, Casey.
Hi.
Welcome. Well, Casey, of course, beloved star of Back to the Future on Broadway.
If that's what they say.
That's what they're saying. It's all on the streets.
Let's go.
It's on the streets, Casey. And of course, almost famous that Kyle was talking about you earlier.
I was. We weren't
In it.
recording, but I'll say it now.
Yeah.
And I've said it to you, so I'm not ashamed to say it.
Yeah.
You were fantastic at that show. I loved it so much.
I was just thinking about that the other day when they said we were going to do this. I was like, oh man, I remember Kyle sent me a voice memo. After I did that show and after he saw it, and it meant the world because I mean I loved his work in Mean Girls and and I was in high school at the time when he was doing that, and I was just like such a huge fan and
Yeah.
and then immediately after here he is complimenting my work. So thanks, Kyle.
Thank you. Also, that hurts that
Yeah,
you
I
were
was
in
like,
high school. Oh,
God.
listen,
High school. I was in high school
Tell
when
me
I
you
saw
were
it.
done with
Like,
high school. You were finishing?
Oh
at
no,
least?
I was finishing. Yeah. I was
Let's
I was
not
my
kid
senior
ourselves.
year.
It got really sweaty in here.
Casey was a dawning freshman at the time. But that is one of the really cool things about this business and we bandy about the word community in Broadway, in the Broadway world, as it were, a lot. But that is one of the really cool things that I've enjoyed is getting to meet and interact with the people that have meant a lot to you before you've gotten a chance to know them as human people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that is very cool, and very cool that you reached out to say that because
Oh my gosh.
so
I mean,
nice.
they were in previews. Selig Pfeiffer's also a friend of mine. So we saw the show and you guys were in it. I was talking to Selig, like y'all were that schedule is so crazy where you're rehearsing during the day and you're doing new changes at night. And I just felt like I need to put a little love out there because I loved the show. I loved the world. Everybody was so in it. The music was so fantastic. Anyway, it was just, I've done that a couple times, only a couple times. I was very excited.
No, it really
to
meant the
message
world.
it.
Yeah.
I think it's always the right time. If you feel it,
Oh, yeah.
if you feel like reaching out and saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
you were great," right? I think that always is a good idea.
I thought it was interesting, like talking to you about that because I was like, oh wow, that's like very much like a type of thing I would do, and I feel like it's nice to do a podcast about specifically leading men on Broadway, and just like that personality of like, you know, it's kind of like a very specific niche in like the type of like lifestyle we live, and I felt like him reaching out to me, I was like, wow, well that's very much, we think alike. We're very.
I think too that there is something about when you are carrying shows that are the size of the shows that you three are carrying on your shoulders. That's got to be
Literally
kind
carrying.
of isolating in some respect because there's very few people who will know what the challenges that you rise to 8 times a week are, except other people who are going, let me throw on this mega musical and hike up the mountain again.
Yeah.
It is very cool. And it takes, I think, not only an absurd amount of talent, right, but a certain amount of character to handle it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I was just telling a friend actually that especially this process with Lion King has really taught me that there's a difference between being the lead of a musical and leading a musical, that those are not actually the same.
Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely.
That I think when it comes to like leading a show or a company, it's like that ties more into, you know, the energy of the room and like what you're bringing into the space and like how you're treating people and sort of the tone you're setting in that regard, in addition to the diligence and integrity that you hold on stage. It's not just about being the person with the most lines or the most to do, because that can be very self-serving, I feel. But the other is I think more beneficial to the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to jump off what you said. There's such a huge responsibility to, how do I even put this? Maintain the gratitude for the position that you're in. Because if you're not the one having the most fun there, if you're not the one that is the most grateful, then
Trickle.
truly it trickles down. This job is such a slog in so many ways. There's 8 shows a week all the time. I just texted somebody, I'm back on the 8 shows a week schedule, and I was like, how have we let this become normal? This is not normal. I'm like tearing up right now. I'm crying. It's so hard and it's so difficult, and it means so much to the audience that shows up to see this. And so we have that responsibility to be grateful, to continue to have fun. And when somebody's having a hard day, try to get them onto the other side of it. And if you're not the number one most grateful person, I don't know. That's the reason we're all there.
Is this your first or second week?
It is my first week. I've done 3 shows.
And you're already doing press? I mean,
This is
that's
the first
amazing.
one. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. This is my first
Wow.
little press.
Breaking you in. That's why we brought you guys in here as a crash pad for Kyle.
Yeah.
Who's,
Safety net. Thank you. Thank you, gang.
So I get this connection here. Where else have your lives kind of intersected, if at all, beyond this darling moment you guys shared?
I mean, I this year went to the Jimmy Awards.
Okay.
I knew we were gonna.
We all have the Jimmy Awards connection.
Should we check the clock? How long did it take to bring up the
It
Jimmy
took
Awards?
5 minutes.
Okay, get into it.
I did not personally participate in the Jimmys ever in my life, but it was a wonderful thing to witness.
Okay. Does it
just-
happen at your theater?
Yes,
No.
it does.
Yeah.
Yes. So they were in my dressing room.
Yeah,
It was
oh my God,
really,
of
it was
course.
really actually a very endearing interaction to have with some of them that were like in my dressing room. And they met me. and They're like, "Oh my gosh, like you're the symbol, you're the," you know.
Yeah.
No, it's like such a cool energy in that space to just all these young people who are passionate about theater getting to share in this community with like folks from different schools and different states and all that kind of stuff. And
so talented.
so, oh my gosh, beyond. And like you're reminded of the fact that like, oh, we're all still that person, you know?
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, oh, like the reason why all of us are in, these Broadway shows now is because the 18, 17-year-old version of us was like, hey, I want to do this thing, Just so cool.
Yeah, and we'll get into a little bit of that too, because I no one gets to sit in these spaces without first, on some level, being a theater nerd or a fan on some level.
Yeah.
And I always think it's really fun to honor that and
Yeah, of
and to
course.
get to see that.
Yeah.
So your Jimmy's,
So I'm
Kyle,
essentially the grandfather of the Jimmy. I was there the second year it ever existed.
you're so grand, but you're James.
Yeah.
Oh, James.
Old James.
They called it the
Rolled out.
James Awards.
Back in my day, it was the James. Yeah, exactly.
Nickel.
So I was there the second year it ever existed.
Over not a wooden one, it's a tap dance.
But I try to go every year. Like I was there the year Casey was there.
Yeah.
If I'm around, I love to show up because of all, they are all getting so much better. To the like I think about it, I was like, I don't think I would have won back in the day. Like if I were competing now,
of course
there's
you
no
would've.
chance.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
kids
yeah.
are so well trained at their age
They're
now.
very good.
Horrifying. And then B, it's kind of this pure Broadway magical experience that we all, to our points here, all experience, and it's kind of the reason we ended up where we ended up. And it's fantastic watching the origin point of that. It's a very, very nice reminder. It's very grounding, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's fears. Let's be
What
honest.
what was your Jimmy's experience?
Yeah, I did the Jimmys in 2019. Kyle was there.
It was really recent, Casey. That's really recent.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I was going into my senior year, and I really I had my own relationship with school. I'm a very smart kid. I just really focus my smart stuff on like just theater. So I really only know stuff about theater, and I really just procrastinate everything else, or producing or like writing or whatever, stuff like that. But yeah, and then I ended up ironically finding a way to get out of school because they got me a job out of the Jimmys. So that was pretty fast, and then I just finished the rest of it online, and
that
was my life.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you missed much in the lunchroom.
No.
for that last
I just
call.
missed senior prom. That's it. But I did junior prom. That's it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
who
Okay.
cares? Who
Yeah.
cares?
Some of
Guess
us
what?
had to
It was the
pretend to be
same prom.
asleep.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that to people, by the way. Like I that's my thing that I always try to like say about the Jimmys is like it's so phenomenal and so special. But I'm like, I tell so many people, I'm like, do not do what I did. It is a horrible idea. I'm like, it was very nice that it happened the way that it happened for me, but like, don't count on the Jimmys. Go to school. You should also probably go to college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
It's one way of doing something,
yeah.
right?
and
you
it's
ask
also
100.
one in a million. There was like a
Right.
show that needed a young little white kid with brown hair. You know what I mean?
Right
Like that
place,
was
right
exactly the time and place that I was at, and it just worked. And Dearvin Hansen made tenors that cry a big thing. So you know what I mean? I was like, let's don't count on that. But it was awesome, and I loved meeting. Honestly, the biggest part of the Jimmys for me was meeting people like Kyle and meeting people that I looked up to forever that were there and supporting
Yeah.
us and teaching us. That the education was the best part.
Yeah. The access too. What a crazy
Oh my
world too.
That was what like surprised me attending. Was I was like, they announced the judges, and I was like, oh, this is literally the entirety of your careers in one room.
Yeah.
Like Thomas Schumacher, Bernie Telsey, people from Terra Rubin, like people from CAA. I was like, oh, like, duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
Which, for my 90s theater kid, I just would have crapped my pants a million times. These kids are so prepared. And
I did though. I messed up my lyrics on my finalist solo. I messed up my lyrics. I was so nervous. You kidding me? I was sitting there thinking how I could see Ben Platt to the right out of the corner of my eye. Wow. And then I messed up.
belting and crying.
Yes. Singing Santa Fe. That was
Oh, well.
So actually belting and crying. Yes, literally that.
With Santa Fe, if you drop a lyric, it's jump back in with Santa Fe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We know where we're going.
Absolutely. And if you just keep that in mind, we should get there. Just a moon so big and yellow. We do like to warm. We're pretty warmed up, actually, but I do like a game. I love a game.
Let's do a game.
This is going to be a trivia-esque kind of situation. We're going to kind of test your knowledge on iconic leading men of baseball, which I'll just excuse myself for the next 10 minutes, and you guys can play. Producer Danny will play, and I'll go watch Drag Race or something. But in this game, I'm going to list a series of shows. Each of these lists will have a common leading man in there. The first one of you to jump in and identify the leading man I'm getting at gets the point. Whoever gets the most points wins, and whoever wins gets over $3 million.
Do we say it or do we buzz?
Sorry, what was that
Well,
last
we don't
part?
have buzzers, but I would like, I would like you to make a buzzing sound with your mouth.
Okay.
When you feel ready.
Wonderful.
Okay,
And
special gold stars to the most creative buzz sound.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is going much better than the game before. All right, here we go. Now, we're going to start a little old school, so go with me on this. Funny thing happened on the way to the forum.
Oh my
Guys
gosh.
and dolls.
Gotta hope I get it. That's my buzz.
Oh, great.
I was
Wow.
like, he knows the next show.
Nathan Lane.
It is Nathan Lane.
good one.
Wow.
Very good.
Vincent,
I was
you
about to
are-
go Zero Mustel. I was like, wait, hang on.
I bet that's why
hang
you
on.
waited. But that shows great knowledge of your leading men forefathers,
That
Zero
fun
Mustel.
fact, that is my favorite musical. Funny thing happened on the way to the forum.
Is it really?
I
It's
love
genius.
it. It's for sure tied in. It was like the first show I did in high school. I was like a protean. I was like, but it was so fun. It's for sure wrapped up in just theater magic in high
It is
school.
also hilarious.
It's so funny.
knockdown, drag out, hilarious.
It's
Yes.
pretty highbrow to do at a high school.
Oh, we were crazy. We were doing like Miss Saigon.
But you had that. You have that
We had a whole string of-
crazy performing arts high school in Orange County.
Yes.
That is so marvelous.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place. The teacher there, Tim Nelson, shout out. I love him. He's so ambitious and like none of this shit should work in
Yeah.
any way, and
Yeah.
it absolutely does just by like glue and theater dreams. It's so fun.
And a helicopter. All right, well done. Next up, Ragtime, Man of La Mancha.
Gotta hope I get it.
That's gonna be Vincent again.
I knew this one.
Brian Stokes Mitchell.
That is Brian
Yes.
Stokes Mitchell. Well
I know
done.
Stokes.
Come on,
Stokes
you know
is
him.
amazing.
Stokes.
No, yeah, you're on a middle name basis.
I wish.
I mean, he's.
He does
I don't
ask
know.
to be called that. Which is
He
Stokes.
does say
You call
that.
him Stokes,
Stokes, yeah.
right?
Does he?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Stokes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't call him at all. I would like to. If anybody has his number. All right, this is going to get even more old school, and I'm excited about
I'm
it.
getting into the game here.
La Cage aux Folles, Sweeney Todd, Sunset Boulevard, Wicked. Oh dear. Oh, the hands are moving, and yet they're not connecting.
I mean, it can't be Norbert.
It's not Norbert. It's not Norbert.
It's literally.
And time is up.
Oh wait.
Wait.
Played the MC.
Oh.
In Cabaret.
No, that's not right.
Joel Gray. is who
Not
you're
Joel
thinking
Gray.
of.
Not Joel Gray.
Not Joel Gray, although Joel Gray was in Wicked. Yeah.
Yeah.
George Hearn. We're going for
Sweeney
George
Todd, obviously.
Hearn, who won the Tony for La Cage aux Folles, and but not a lot of people. He also won a Tony Award for Sunset Boulevard for playing
I
Max.
didn't realize that.
Yeah, And I think a lot of people don't. And we know him. He didn't originate Sweeney. That was Len Cariou.
Of
But
course.
George Hearn was on the PBS special with Angela Lansbury.
yes.
So most of us associate our
role with
first Sweeney
Yes.
with George Hearn.
Yes.
All right, this is going to get a little easier, I think. So get those buzzers ready, created and ready. Kinky Boots.
God, I hope I get it. I'll let you go.
Kyle, I'm going to let you jump in
Wow,
there.
Stark Sands?
Yours was a bird? What was
It was like, oh, I don't know. I'm warming up for tonight.
You're warming up for the show.
Is Stark Sands?
It's not.
Okay.
Billy Porter.
It's Billy Porter. Grease was going to be the next clue.
Beauty School
if you-
Dropout.
If you have
Come on.
not, my friends listening to this, if you have not listened to Billy Porter's Beauty School Dropout,
So good.
Oh,
on
that video
Grease,
is wild.
it is
good.
the wildest vocal performance ever laid down
Yeah.
in the history of vocals. All right. Next up, Great Gatsby. Newsies.
Go ahead.
Jeremy Jordan.
Jeremy
Yeah.
Jordan is correct. Next up,
I got a point.
you got a point. You're on the board. Carousel. Into the Woods.
Josh Henry.
That's correct. It's Josh Henry.
Good.
And my buzz was just me hitting the table.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Really
okay?
hard.
But it
pretty
resonated with
hard.
me, and I felt like you really wanted it.
I
And
did.
that
I
counts
did
a
really
lot.
want that one. Yeah.
That counts a lot. Pippin.
Matthew James Thomas.
No.
John Rubinstein.
Nope. You get one more
I actually
shot.
don't have an answer.
Terrence Mann.
Oh no, but I'm not going for Terrence Mann. But Terrence Mann for me was my idol growing up. I wrote a paper about him in English class in high school, and I have kissed him on the mouth in my adult life. Yes.
Kyle Dean Massey.
It's not Kyle Dean Massey.
Wow.
Jesus Christ Superstar, Fosse, Hair.
Wait,
Wicked.
these are like all the original ones. Wicked.
Was in Wicked.
What?
Yeah. In fact,
Wasn't he?
he went into Wicked after George Hearn was in Wicked. It's Ben Vereen.
Oh,
Ben Vereen.
okay. Honestly, I blame myself for that. I just obviously went with the title character and didn't think about anybody else who was in the show.
Yeah.
What an icon.
Of
That's-
course, Ben Vereen is the
that's
lead
fair.
of that show.
That's fair. Ben Vereen, who when he went into Wicked, gave us all lollipops that had his face on them for his
What a
opening
move.
night. What a move! With a
Power
note
move.
that said, "Prepare to be wizardized. Welcome to the next level." Ben Vereen. And I'm just going to
Wow.
leave that in
This
the
is
room.
the weirdest coincidence. I have that tattoo.
Prove it.
I can't do it on camera.
All right. The Music Man. The boy
Hugh
from
Jackman.
Oz. That's right.
I didn't buzz. Sorry.
You didn't buzz, but it was implied. All right. This one covers a lot of ground. Les Mis, Phantom.
Ramin.
No, but that would be it.
Ooh.
That would also apply. This would not apply. Porgy and Bess.
God, I hope I get it.
Yes?
Norm Lewis.
It's Norm Lewis.
Yeah. Heyo.
We
Although-
love Norm.
I don't know. We could put Ramin in there. Moulin Rouge. Next to Norm. Yeah.
Aaron to me.
Aaron Tveit.
Got him.
And this is a bonus that I'm throwing your way, Casey.
Oh boy.
And if you don't get it, well, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Charlie Brown, Triumph of Love.
Roger Bart.
Roger Bart. That's right.
Boom, boom.
boom, boom.
Oh.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Legend.
Well done. So I think the final points were Vincent had 1 million points,
And I had a
Kyle 500,000, and Casey for getting the bonus 3 million points. So that's a win.
I should have just waited for that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Who knew? Who knew? You guys were kind of getting to this, and I, as we were saying, it takes a theater lover to be in these positions and get to have these roles and hold the space that you guys get to do. Was this always the dream, theater, for you? What was the moment that you remember in your youth and childhood where you went, "Oh, I like this"? You saw something, you got to do something, and you went, I see me, I want to do it.
It's fun. Yeah, I'll start. I mean, for me, the seriousness about it didn't come till like much later.
Yeah.
I got into it because my sister did all kinds of activities, theater being one of them, and I just sort of did whatever she did.
Right.
Older sister, very, very older sister, little brother vibes. That's how I got into figure skating for a very brief time. Very brief time.
Hold on.
Nope, we don't have time.
I'm unwell.
We have time,
I'm
actually.
unwell.
I did
time.
win a competition. It's not a big deal, but I'm pretty sure I was the only boy in my age group. But I did win, so take that for what you will.
Okay.
There's photos.
Go on.
Somewhere.
We can't
We'll
go
get you.
there.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I told you
too
this
rich.
is a
It's
deep
too
well.
I'm trying to figure out who I could do Blades of Glory with.
And now there it is.
Oh my
I
god!
think
On
it's
ice
you.
in the round, we're
it's you.
coming to a circle in the
Circle
square.
the square. Blades of Glory.
We've done
God.
sand.
Call the
We need
producers.
ice on that thing. Let's
Oh
go.
my gosh. Paging Dr. Arden. We need you. We're laying down the
Yes,
glass.
let's go. We're making news here in
Yeah.
the newsstand.
Stay
Okay.
tuned. Okay.
So I did everything my sister did. And then for all of high school, most of high school, it was just where all of my friends were. It was the first time I felt like a community and this is our thing that we did. And I think I was fine at it and I got better as that went on. And then I had a summer where I went to Cap 21 in New York. And my big plan was that this is how I was going to get into NYU, and that's
Sure.
And then that was the year that they separated from NYU. So I was like, anyway, I'm here. But then that summer, a big summer for musical theater, it was Next to Normal. It was Hair, that revival. That was
so good.
So excellent. I saw both of those so many times, and I was just on fire with musical theater. And I had this teacher, Bill Dougherty, at Cap 21, who, you do your little evaluations at the end, and he sat me down and he's like, hey, you're great. If you really want to do this, I think you really could. And so it's going to take a lot of work, but if you want to pursue it, you should. And it took that moment and just one person to just sort of like legitimize the whole thing I was already feeling to be like, okay, let's go. Let's do it. And that led to XYZ, Carnegie Mellon. So it really was this combination of friends, family, community, and teacher, and just being in New York and seeing what that was.
And does he know he changed your life in that moment?
I believe I've told him. He used to live out in Brooklyn. I don't know if he's still there or not, but he does know.
Okay.
I've talked
Wow.
about this before.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. it.
I think for me, I did a production of Passing Strange when I was like
Oh,
I love
17 or 18. It was like my first like lead role outside of school. And I think that was the first time that I saw myself in the material. Because like prior to that, you're doing shows in high school and like they're fun and like you're learning things about yourself and whatever. But like that was the first time that I read a script and I was like, oh, I resonate with this so deeply. And then getting to like explore that on a regular basis, I was also like, oh, I think I could do this. Like I'm finding something in the practice of being a part of theater, part of performance, whatever, that like is doing something for me personally in terms of like how I'm growing and developing as a human being. And I think that was really rewarding and like just sort of, my foot was already sort of on the gas, but that was like, oh, let's floor it. Let's really go. 88 miles an hour, Marty. Sorry,
Oh my
it was
God.
right there.
we missed our
it's really
jokes
good.
earlier.
Thank you.
I almost said it myself, so I'm glad you said it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the moment, because prior to that, it was a slow burn that I fell into theater and then like realized that people thought I was good at it, and then I realized that I thought I was good at it, and then it was sort of like, okay, now how are people like starting to work with actors who would like come down to Texas, and you're like, wait, this is a whole profession. Like you've been flown to Texas and they're paying you to like be here and you're memorized before we start. Like I was like, oh wait, there's a whole like vocation, which was really, fascinating to me.
Yeah, there's a world that exists out there where this is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, my mom was very supportive of it growing up. So, because she actually did Les Mis out here in
No way.
in '98. I believe that was the year she did it. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So she was encouraging, and not to say that I'm a nepo baby, because I don't know if you know much about actors, but they can't really do much for you ever, especially when they
As
did
much as
one
you
show
want them to.
several years ago. Yeah. But she just, I think what she did for me was just encourage me. I mean, she never was a stage mom. She never told me to do it.
Okay.
She just, I got into it. And she just kind of was like, well, if this is what you want to do, then this is what you'll have to do, is, have discipline and work on your craft and stuff like that. So I didn't really have a moment necessarily, but I had many moments that reconfirmed what I basically like knew from like when I was born. Like really.
Was it like a house full of music? Were we singing all the time?
All the time. Everyone's singing all the time. And even my sister now, who is younger than me, she didn't even like love theater super like a whole lot. And now that I'm gone, she loves it. She thinks it's the best.
Now that you're out.
Now that I'm out of here, she just is a big theater kid.
She can enjoy it on her terms.
Yeah, exactly.
She just needed a little space.
Yeah. No. So she found herself, and now we're all
and now we're okay.
Family. Now we're all a theater family. Yeah.
How marvelous.
Yeah.
What about you, Ben?
I was like 8 years old, and I joined a children's choir in Orem, Utah, because there was a flyer on a car windshield that said, "Come audition, come be part of the Opera West Children's Choir," and I did that. And from that, I got to audition for a community theater project that was a world premiere musical of Little Lord Fauntleroy the musical. And I got the lead.
Oh my God,
and
you were Little Lord
Fauntleroy? I was 9 or 10
Oh.
years old. And that was it. You couldn't tell me
you were
anything.
in.
I had no friends of any kind, but I could sing you the entire score to Cats front to back from that point on. So,
Isn't it funny to think that somebody made that flyer?
Somebody made that
and
flyer.
put that on a windshield. Like that's the thing about this that is so funny to me is how many ways people get roped into it and how many people it actually takes. Like your mom being an actor and then still telling you like, yeah, you should do this.
Yeah.
That's so magical and rare in its own way.
You would think most actors would be like, "Don't run."
Hey, listen, kid, no, it's not a life for you. Yeah, totally. But it's amazing. And you doing Passing Strange, which is such a cool show about being an artist and like anyway, I have chills again. Okay.
Wow.
Do you guys remember actors kind of as you came into it that you remember going, that's somebody I want to emulate? That you saw on a stage that you're like, I like that. Is there part of me in that?
Yeah.
What were those inspos?
I mean, like that's largely how I learned how to do most of this stuff. Was like YouTube was like my biggest resource. Because I'm like I'm from a big-ish family, so there wasn't really a ton of money in the budget for me to like take all these classes and things and like learn how to sing that way. So I was like, okay, I'll just figure it out. So I'm like, I would go down rabbit holes of Tony performances was like step one, like watching Tita Rivera and Kiss of the Spider Woman on the Tonys and just being like, oh, like there's something about the way that this human moves and how story flows through their fingertips that like there's some like I'm just trying to really study that and figure out like, okay, what is it about how she moves versus how somebody else moves that makes this way more interesting?
Wow.
And then like rabbit holes of Michael Kilgore, Josh Henry. Back when I thought I was a baritone, Brian Stokes Mitchell, and
we all
Bill
had
Lewis.
that phase.
Yeah. I was like, no, I think I can get down there for sure. Like just like, there's so much like PBS stuff and YouTube and Tonys and those are big ones. Yeah,
the YouTube influence. I mean, obviously, I predate that by many years, but I can only imagine.
Yes.
I remember like putting the VHS tape in to record Sweeney Todd or record Sunday in the Park with George and Into the Woods and watch it. What about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke about it very briefly, but that summer that I was here, bouncing back and forth between Hair and Next to Normal, watching Aaron Tveit was I was like 16. I was starting to like man up a little bit, very, very lightly. It's still very early, but it was the first time I actually like looked at a role and was like, oh, that's about a kid. Like, boy my age, I could be doing like that is a path there. And then the other one is Gavin Creel in Hair, which I mean I've just always been trying to sing like Gavin Creel forever. That's just been the goal. And to the point about YouTube, just rabbit holing every 54 Below concert that these people were doing, and trying to sing like them was a big thing.
Yeah, that's how you start, right? You go like, let me give that a shot and see how that
feels. And like Matthew Morrison in Light in the Piazza and Michael Ball from the Les Mis recording. Like I was trying to sound like all of these men.
Yeah.
And it came later where I was like, hey, wait, I have a voice of my own. I should also figure out what that is too.
No, wait, every singer starts that way, but trying to mimic what you like. I mean, I think I'm still trying to sound like, I don't know what I thought the Les Mis recording sounded like when I was 12. I feel like that I'm still trying to sing very incorrectly to sound like that.
Yeah.
Who was on your radar?
Oh man, I mean, we already talked about Kyle, and there's so many.
Just
so
copying
many.
Gavin Creel. You're copying. Yeah,
What'd you say?
I'm just copying Gavin Creel. You're copying.
So I'm like, so intern
I guess
Gavin
it's
Creel.
Gavin, yeah.
No. I mean, I had so many growing up, and of course, most of my references are modern and pretty close to what's on Broadway now. I mean, like I love Jeremy, I love Aaron, and then I got to work with Jeremy, and that was even more like whoa, holy crap! Like I'm really learning your process from the at your face level now, which was really kind of wild. So I'm still kind of in the phase. I mean, I'm young and still a fan. So I just kind of like still like have people that I'm like trying to be like all the time. Even people my age that I'm like that are literally the exact same age as me that I'm like, wow, I really like what they're doing. So,
and the heady stuff is that there are people currently watching you and going, that's what it is. That's the ultimate. I want to be like that.
Wow.
That they'll carry
So
with
wild.
them.
Yeah.
So
I told a friend recently that like what's crazy is when you come to this realization that like, oh, we're all someone's benchmark. Like someone somewhere is watching, not just like the people in this room, but like folks, anyone on Broadway really, and being like, oh, like I love that person's career or their trajectory or their whatever, and like they're watching every YouTube video you've ever been in, and like going down rabbit holes of your stuff, and like meanwhile, I think a lot of us spend a lot of time sort of like looking up and being like, oh, I want to get to that status, or I want to do that thing, whatever, and it's like, oh, it's so cool to have that perspective to be like, oh, right,
yeah, wow, yeah, it's heady. That's really.
But isn't that like what we should be doing too? Like it feels like this is the ladder and it's worth climbing. Like I love talking to students and being like, you want to be an actor? Yes, do it. It is such a fun, cool life. You meet all kinds of weird people. It's the best. And it never stops. Like you never achieve actor. You know what I mean? You just keep living your life. And then one day you look around and you're like, oh, I'm doing the thing that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. And there's still more things that I want to do.
Sure.
And I will work towards that. It never stops. And there's something amazing about that.
Wow. Oh, for sure.
We could be sitting in an office typing an achieved office, but we're not. We're doing this.
Right.
We're standing in a
really
newsstand
great.
talking about stuff.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about the pressures kind of for that you might feel from an audience when you're carrying the weight of a show and your cast that's relying on you as well to be there to support you as best as possible. Talk to me a little bit about finding, because when you're a leading man, quote unquote, very often you're playing off a counterpart, either romantically or maybe in the case of even playing off of Roger in the show. How important is it to develop and hone those relationships with your counterparts on stage?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, me?
You? No, me.
I mean,
You.
tremendously important. I mean, I think that chemistry is a hard thing to fake. And so, but also that I think it has to develop naturally. Like, I think that if you're trying to like barrel your way in there and be like, no, we're going to be friends and have this camaraderie or whatever, it's like, it is weird. But yeah, so like with Pearl Kwesi, who plays Nala in Lion King, who's incredible in the show and also just like as a person as well. Yeah, it was just sort of like, my philosophy was sort of just leaving the door open always. Sometimes literally, but definitely figuratively, and just being like, yeah, like whenever it feels natural that we, speak and like learn about each other's lives and whatever, like I'm fully open to that, but also like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm contracted for the time that I am. So it's like, we have no choice but to have it happen. So, yeah, just letting it be natural.
Have you found over the course of the year you've been there, has that developed and surprised you?
I mean,
in
at
some
this
ways?
point, I told her not long ago, I was like, I definitely feel like you're going to be Aunt Pearl. Like, like, when kids come to my life down the line, like, I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely feel like you're the kind of person that I would be like, go spend some time with Aunt Pearl and like learn a thing or two, like,
Wow, that's cool. That's
This is your weekend with Aunt Pearl.
yeah.
Skedaddle.
I'm like, because she's such an impressive woman. I mean, speaks several languages and like, has a degree in I think like behavioral science and yeah, like
Can't
has
do
lived
better for a
everywhere. Like I'm like,
babysitter.
she's like
Let's go.
a very cool person. cooler than I am. So yeah, by all means, everyone just go hang out with Pearl.
I'll throw that to you, Kyle, because you're in this position so newly. I mean, we know your history in finding chemistry in past shows you've done.
Whatever.
How'd that end out? How'd that end up?
Say when it's right, it's right.
We looked into her eyes and we both belted. You're kind of in the process of developing this really important chemistry with Izzy McCalla, and how do you go into that and find something really solid?
I'm very, very lucky. I've known Izzy for a number of years already. She actually went to school with my wife.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She's like a year younger or something. So we've known her forever, and she's the best. I got the job, and she was like the second person I texted. I was like, oh my God, guess what? Like, I'm going to be in the show with you. Which is just wild. And she's also she and Paul both, because I knew Paul Nolan a little bit as well. They are both so playful and like, I have no other word for it other than just alive on stage, that it's backstory of us or whatever. It doesn't even matter. It's just grabbing on and holding tight to whatever is happening with that scene right there. It really, it feels like there's no chemistry required because we're just kind of live wiring in the moment on stage. And that being said, I am very lucky because I did know her before, and she is a pal, and we've never worked together, which is so funny. She was in Prom while I was in Mean Girls, and we were kind of Casey Nicolau cousins. So we were at their opening, and they came to our, like, it was a whole little world there. But we've never worked together, and so it does feel like we're finally the inevitable Izzy McCalla and Selig team up feels like it's happening.
It'll be interesting in 6 months to look back on that and see what kind of things have developed out of this.
Totally.
Being in the
it's already
moment.
at the show last night. I'm supposed to like unzip my shoes during our little bed scene. Yeah. Because it goes blackout and I'm supposed to throw my shoes off, and I forgot to do it, and so I'm sitting there like. And we finished the scene. We just died laughing, running off, and so it's already happening because. It has to. We're in a trench together. That's how this chemistry starts. So yeah, I'll have me back here in the newsstand, and I'll tell you how the chemistry has developed with Izzy.
How about you, Mr. Likes?
Yeah, I think it's just absolutely important to establish it off stage. I try to every single time I ever have to have chemistry with anyone. And I have done it without that because there's some people who are just not open to that. There's some people who just are like, yo, I would rather just take this privately, and like I just want to be my own person right now, and we will act when we act. And honestly, I don't even think that's disrespectful. I think that's just a different way of working. Yeah. Than I do personally. I just choose to enjoy my life more than other people, I guess. So I just I would like to make friends with everyone, and fortunately Roger and I did. And it's just like the best. And I did on Almost Famous, and I've done on every project, but there's every once in a while you just learn like, okay, well, that's not how they go about it. But thankfully the guy who I spend most of my time with on stage and most of my past year with has been one of my best friends. So.
I can't help but think, Roger having done the show in the West End and coming in and finding a new Marty, was he in the room when you were being brought in for this? And were they pairing you up and like chemistry testing you?
Yeah. I had pretty much one callback because I was in Almost Famous at the time, so I just ended up all working on the same day. So it was just a very long callback with different things. We did music, and then we went into reads with the director, and then we went into reads with Roger, and it was like basically a whole bunch of approval processes within one like hour long callback.
Which would have to be exhausting because the frequency, I think, having seen you, knowing Roger and having seen you guys on stage together, it's a very high frequency that you're living at.
For sure. I'm glad you say that. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, it was like, I don't know who told me, but someone said, you are probably going to be asked to do improv. And I was like, wow, I haven't done improv in a long time. Because, I mean, Almost Famous is an Oscar award-winning script, so you don't want to mess that up. You know what I mean? And not that you would want to mess up Back to the Future, but that was the world they crafted for us. They crafted an improvisational world, and fortunately, Roger's no stranger to that. So, and I did go to improv class when I was younger, so I tried my best, and I was very used to having worked with Drew Gehling, and knowing that a comedy genius like that needs to just be let loose, and then once you learn enough from them, then you can start playing. But I knew in that callback that the idea was I need to be his sounding board. I need to be his blank canvas for him to do what he does.
That feels really mindful and very wise.
Oh, thank you.
And I think a lot of young actors would be like, I got to put myself in this
Yeah.
as hard as I can right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just
really
knew I was never going to
evolved.
be as funny as him. So I was like, and now we're a year in, and now I'll make him break and stuff like that. And I have some stuff, because also he's done the show like 500 times. At this point, he's done it like 2,000 times. And I mean, I think now he's looking for someone who's going to entertain him.
Sure.
Right? So
And you're at the ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready now.
Yeah. How much of you as human people, which you have to be as well as being actors and leads of shows, are in the characters you're currently playing? And does that play into this being the right role for you?
That's it. So I think in part, the thing that was pitched to me about Jacob Jankowski early on is that this is like a very well-bred young man with a lot ahead of him that is unfortunately taken a huge, terrible turn in his life. It's just obliterated him. And I think that there's something to that could happen to any of us at any time. And it sort of reflects to the show. It's about who you are when everything is taken from you. And so I am very, very fortunate. I don't think much has been taken from me, but it does have this chord in the center of it that this could happen at any time. And who do you want to be after that? And I do resonate with the well-bred stuff. Shout out mom and dad. You killed it.
Well done. Orange County. Orange County will do that to you.
Yeah, safe nest.
Yeah. How about, oh yeah? Casey?
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching a interview with, well, actually, I think it was Still, the documentary Michael J. Fox did. And he was like, joining Back to the Future was pretty easy because basically it was about a kid who was, like a skateboarder, and basically all he focused on in his life and what he thought was most important to him was chasing girls and blah, 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 until he found out later that it was like, his, there were more important things to life. But he was like, it's pretty easy for me to do because I was literally exactly where I was at the moment. And I was like, honestly, yeah, same. Like, I'm like,
Great.
Yeah, I was like, when I joined the role, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty focused on trying to be cool and cooler than everyone. I mean, I actually am, and convincing everyone that I'm very cool, and then chasing girls. So, it was pretty easy. And as the year has gone on, I find much deeper connections with the familial side of things, and connections with your father and all these really amazing, and then a best friend that you care about that is like you're kind of like you're bonded. It's like that connection between Doc and Marty is like very similar to me and my best friend. It's like you're in love with each other, but it's in a completely platonic way, and it's just like this you learn deeper stuff about this kind of like silly show as the more time you spend with it, because you're like, you could probably find deep stuff in anything when you do it 450 times, you know what I mean? But I mean, like, I definitely, there's a deep story there. There's a deep story behind Back to the Future. So it's wonderful. It's great to kind of figure myself out in the meantime.
And you got to have that attitude to do it 8 times a week too, and be ready to go, how am I going to evolve with this? And how nice to be surprised by, oh wait, I just made another connection maybe.
Yeah. There's another thing that I actually kind of wanted to bring up with in this conversation. This kind of actually leads to it. I have to do so much self-therapy because of this show, because I never leave the stage. So who do I talk to?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like you almost sit there and you really, in the middle of scenes, you start going, like you start thinking about your life. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I can't talk to anyone about it. I just have 2 hours and 45 minutes a day that I'm like completely forced to be alone which is funny because you see me interact with a whole bunch of other people. But I wanted to ask you guys if you ever felt like that on stage. Where like, I've done this show so many times, and I feel like I honestly, I'm living a lot of more of my life with myself than I kind of ever did before.
Yeah.
I mean, even
That's
just a practical, very, very new 3 shows in experience I'm having is just there 2.5 hours where I cannot be on my phone.
Yeah,
which is
right.
awesome.
Right.
Like that's just a very, very practical level of what you're talking about, but it's so healthy. And I'm like, right, I just can't deal with this digital made up world for 2.5 hours, 8 times a week. It feels great.
Yeah.
It feels awesome. I'm going to try to keep it. I'm going to turn my stuff off.
Yeah. I mean, in Lion King, like Simba's a very isolating track because I spend most of the time, even when I'm with like Timon and Pumbaa, I'm like, I have to look at the puppets and not the people.
Yes. Wow.
Interesting.
By yourself.
So I'm like, I don't really see anybody until almost the end of Act 2 when I'm like, there's a big production number and I run around the ensemble. So it's just a lot of like, you have these moments like over the bowl and like Mufasa's face is in the stars and like, you just have time to think about whatever is on your mind. And it's also like a really poignant moment. So like, if you feel like crying, if something comes up that's like, it's like, oh, like, well, I get to cry and like no one's gonna be like, oh, something like, what's wrong with Vincent? Like,
it's acting.
Yeah.
So great.
Because to your point, it's like we don't stop being people.
No,
where our bodies are literally just in this little portal situation, and stuff comes up all the time. I'm excited for more stuff to come up.
Well, and to that, it is so kind of exclusionary that not many people know what it is to work on that level in those concentrated amounts of time as you are, particularly in these shows. And how do you find a balance as a human being outside of that? Do we go back home and collapse face first into the pillow and just arise again like Mariah Carey at Christmas time and enough time to go do the show again?
I mean, the thing for me that's helped the most is really, in addition to 5 years of therapy.
Right. Right. Let's talk about that. Y'all
like
hear that out there? Anyone who's young, did you hear that?
Therapy.
Prerequisites.
Yes.
But it's like having some level of structure because I think prior to this chapter of my life, most of my structure came from a rehearsal schedule, which I don't think is entirely helpful or healthy. So then trying to, create that sense of stability and rest for myself. So it's like, okay, like we're in the gym these days, we're eating these things, we're seeing friends on these, like it's like, and it seems very formulaic in a way, but like in terms of keeping up with the 8 shows a week of it all and sometimes 9, that's the only way that I've found to do it in a way that feels sustainable.
Yeah. You've got to get the granola, the 3 eggs, the smoothie, so the size of a barge.
And like seeing friends on a Sunday or Sunday night when we had just Sunday matinees. Oftentimes would be like at my house, like I'd cook a big meal, people would bring stuff or whatever, and it's just like getting to sit there with friends and like if we talk about the business because it came up naturally, fine, but like usually it's just kind of like people chit chatting about like whatever. Just to kind of remind yourself that there's more than jumping around and taking a bow and signing a couple playbills,
Sure.
Yeah.
It's hard too. I'll speak just stepping into it this week. When I was 23, 25, and my life was smaller, you know what I mean? I didn't have a wife, I didn't have a dog, I didn't have these external things. And now my life is bigger, and it makes balancing that much harder. I don't have a solution yet.
Yeah.
It's just certain things become more important, but the job still stays the same level of importance. So it's just everything's important now.
Wow. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, whoa, I mean, this is only going to get more complicated, isn't it? And I'm like, it is already a pretty complicated job. But that's
ultimately like more rewarding because it's not just like me working for my own glorious musical theater track. I have a family now and I have this thing we're all trying to build, and it's outside of myself. So it becomes almost the why is almost bigger now.
But interesting, it's
that's
that
really wonderful.
side where it gets you out of this kind of isolation we were talking about.
Exactly.
You know?
That.
So, okay, just rapid fire. Favorite moment in the show to perform?
I just love the improv with Roger. I just have so much fun. It keeps it so alive, and it's so rare to be able to like be given that chance to just like riff with like a comedy legend.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I treasure it every day.
Find out in the moment.
Yep. Just absolutely wonderful.
How about you?
Usually I say he lives in your reprise, but actually I think it might be the whole like confrontation final battle sequence, just because I feel like kind of like a superhero in some of those moments. I'm like, you've got swords and the lighting is going crazy. And you're like, yeah. And it's like, also there's some like, I feel like you get to really play the stakes of that moment, which is really fun. Of like, oh yeah, like here I am on top of a cliff, swords drawn in front of my uncle being like, murderer, you know. It's cool.
That's about as high stakes as it gets. Yeah, that's the fantasy.
There is this dream sequence in Water for Elephants towards the end. No spoilers. I won't really share what it's about, but just stylistically and the moment that we're in that moment in the show, it's when the circus becomes very metaphorical and it's sort of the peak of the circus element of the show as well. And just going from beat to beat of that in this like esoteric dream sequence is so epic, and there's fog and there's tight wires and there's knives and it's so enjoyable to be a part of.
I'm trying not to spoil things. You could be very badly injured.
I could. You could be. I could. That one is very funny. People are like, are you nervous to do the circus stuff? I'm like, that one is just me standing there. So I do nothing. I just don't move. Try not to breathe. Anyway, that's the best part of it for me, because it's, to your point, the epic moment, but it's also everything around that epic moment. It's what we've been building towards. It's very fun.
We have to wrap up, which makes me want to cry and makes me sad inside of my gay heart. But as we go, what are what roles have you not played yet that you think would be the role that you would like to tackle someday? Besides the one that will very obviously be written for you that don't exist yet.
I was going to say Blades of Glory. The music
Blades of Glory, bro.
Dr. Arden, to the rink, please.
To the rink, please. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit superstitious about saying things out loud.
Okay.
But I mean, there's a lot of stuff on Broadway right now that would be dope. There's a lot of stuff that's coming. There's a lot of stuff that I want to write, I want to produce. There's a lot of stuff. So I have a lot of ideas, and they're all written down in my notes app, but y'all will never.
Shout out to the notes app.
Drop the notes app.
Drop the notes app. Blades of Glory is at the top.
I mean, like, I don't know, Moritz or Melchior, Spring Awakening.
Oh my gosh, bro. Yeah.
I'd love to do Emmett and Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening, I think, this season, but Jamie in the last 5 years, I was like, man, if I could have gotten in there. I love that show, that role, that music.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody wants this but me, but I was thinking about this the other day. There has not been a City of Angels return.
Revive it, you cowards!
I think it'd be fun. Casey, we'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll do it, all three of us in rep. We'll pick it out of a hat. We'll decide who does the roles.
True.
But
some cool new version of that, I think would be kind of sick.
I don't know that show very well.
Oh my God, it's cool. Half of it's in black and white, or at least originally it was.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, because it happens in a fantasy world, and the writer and the character that he's written.
Wait, how did they do it in black and white? It's live theater?
Well, we can ask Greg Edelman. They have like black and white makeup and stuff, and then the set flips over and it's in black and white. That's what I'm saying. Like, we could do some cool projections
really
and stuff. Like, there's some real technical stuff that could be very cool with that.
That's a great idea for a revival. Wow. Okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, we're just putting it out there, people. Just do what we ask.
Yeah.
It's not so hard.
It's not that hard.
You guys, thank you so much for being here and being a part of this and
for
chatting with us. And what an absolute treat. Oh, and now smile for the cameras.
Oh.
And now just say your social media handle so everybody can follow you and do everything that know what you're doing all the time everywhere.
At the same time. No.
At the same time.
I'm K.A. Selig, only on Instagram.
I'm Vincent Jamal Hooper, also only on Instagram.
I'm at Just Casey Likes on everything.
On everything. All right, friends, don't miss out on next week's episode, which is all about Chicago with Orfeh, Max von Essen, and Red Concepcion.
Well, let's go get a Red Bull, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, big show tonight. Let's
Can we
go.
get a sponsor? Yeah, let's go eat some eggs. Let's get some teen, bro.
We'll hit the gym.
Yeah, pick things up and put them down.
This is the best. Thanks.
All right, boys. We'll see you soon. Have a great show.